And welcome to a 2 versus 2 ladder on Bliss Forge Lines Forever replay here on the Games with Brains channel, rated 977. Now this is going to be the last ever Forged Lines Forever replay that I do on this channel, and so if you want some more information on why that is, the answer's simple. I've been content mixing on this channel since creating it a couple of months ago, and it's still catching some people out, and I get it. You want to see the game that you want to see and not random other stuff. And so I went ahead and created a new channel at FAF Cast Division. You can see it there at the bottom of the screen, youtube.com/ and then the @ symbol, very important, and then FAF CAST at FAF Cast, and that will take you to the channel, and you'll see it's a very similar logo to the Games with Brains, but instead of having a G inside the head, it's got a letter F, or sometimes FAF, to make it a little more obvious. And so with that intro out the way, let's get on to the final cast that we're going to do on the channel. The final Forge Lines Forever cast, that should be. I was doing a little X-Plane cast a minute ago. I had somebody jump into chat who I think was a little bit disappointed that it wasn't a Forge Lines Forever cast. And it is for you. And I don't expect everybody to instantly know, or somebody's gone and made a new channel. We've got about 10 videos, give or take, over there so far. And there's about 60 people or so that have moved over. I realise there's a lot of subscribers on this channel that are either Forge Lines and other stuff. And so again, it's to separate the two. All right, then. So let's jump on over into the game. Not going to be quite as smooth as I would like, ideally. That is being dealt with on the other channel. We've got a pretty good intro there. I'm just sort of clearing stuff out on this channel to do with Forged Lines. And again, this is why it's the last ladder. All right, let's unpause the game. And welcome our player. Hopefully it's a good game to go out with on the channel. And again, I just check part way through, check things are okay, and that's it. So there could be a desync at the end, always a bit of a risk, especially when it's going out live. Over then on the blue team, it's the Blues versus the Reds, and we'll start on the blue team. AI reckons it's 99% balance, which it depends where you look. Somewhere else says a little less. Yeah, so blue team here. Team 2... incidentally, the way it counts, we'll call this one Husky in Aeon, going first land, the electric blue, and then over in the more baby blue in UEF, it's Headshot Hero. Now, Headshot Hero, UEF there, going first air. He's a 729 rated, the lowest rated player in the game. His friend over here, Husky, the 1216 in Aeon, is the highest rated player in the game. And so those two... but sort of, you know, the discrepancy between the two, these two are a lot more even over in red, is why the game overall is balanced. You know what I like to say? Even though when teams are balanced, if one team has a much higher rated player versus the other, then generally speaking, that is the team that wins. So we'll see if that holds true today. So then, over on the red team, in the northeastern corner, we'll start with this guy. I'm going to call him Soul in sort of the bright red, the Ferrari red there. 979 rated UEF, going first land, grabbing his hydro and what looks like second air. And then last but not least, in sort of a darker red, we've got, let's just go, the 153rd, E153, so Echo 153. I think I'll just if I call him E or Echo, do you know what, rather than trying to pronounce all that, I'm just going to call him Echo. Sorted here and now. Forgive me, E153RD or E153rd, which I'm sure it means. I'm calling you Echo because it's a bit of a mouthful to try and say E153 all the time. Anyways, he's going first and second air, and already moving out with his ACU. So if we take a little look then at the map, both teams have a starting sort of island in their corner, which they share. Both players on the same team sharing the island, and then what looks like two much larger islands in the middle that are clearly to be fought for. And it's not just that they're larger, but there seems to be many times more mass points. So if we have a look here, how many we got so far, take a look at Husky. Well, so far, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it looks like 8 mass points per player. And then if we look on the expanding island, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Well, if I've counted correctly, 19 mass points. So over twice as many as the starting. And so even if both of these islands went halfway each, you've still doubled the amount of mass points, going from 8 to 9 or potentially 10 mass points, depending who would get the additional one there. Now, if your opponent doesn't come over, well, then you've not just doubled, but you've tripled your eco. So you can have 3 times as many mass points if you get it all to yourself. We'll have to see how that pans out. Looks like Headshot Hero not rushing across, but instead putting a naval yard down with his ACU and then looking to come back here. I'm not sure I agree with that. Headshot Hero, the 729, I'd like you to see you get aggressive here. He does get a drop onto his side island there with a couple of NGs, 2 mass points. Not entirely insignificant. There's 4 mass points over here. Doesn't look like anybody's making a move for it yet, but Scouts certainly out from the top side. And let's have a little look here. Headshot Hero. Oh, he just flies in. He didn't prearrange a target despite having intel. I doubt this guy's made the same mistake. No, he hasn't. Husky there manages to get at least 2 or 3 kills before then losing his bomber thanks to the intel he got ahead of time. Thank goodness for pre-targeting, right? Now here we see we've got Echo over here with his ACU. He's set up shop. First land fac about to go online. And over on the flip, we've got Headshot Hero who's coming in with a transport drop. Hiya Hardy Streams, thanks for joining us in chat. Unfortunately, I'm task saturated on these games. I won't be able to join in on chat, but very nice to see you again. Thanks for your continued support. Good evening and sleep well. Goodbye. Yeah, Hardy Streams there taking a piss. All right, back to the game at hand. Headshot Hero there. He's going down for mass points. Then he's looking to reclaim. He's using 3 engineers to get 2 little reclaim clumps. If Headshot Hero wants to hold on to this, he's going to want to use these engineers to put factories down. And there indeed looks like the first order. 1 factory, a manual reclaim on the smallest of reclaimable bushes I think I've ever seen in the game. And then for another mass point. Or on the flip side then, it's Soul versus what we can only assume to be Husky. And Soul Engineer in position there. 3 mass points, and looks like he's getting Tech 1 point defense first. And incidentally, Big S, Big O, Little O, Big O, and Capital L. I'm calling him Soul. Some might say it's Soul or some other, probably something on TV that I should know, but don't because I don't watch TV, don't have one. Either way, Soul there, or Soul, I'm just going to call him Soul for simplicity. Looking like he's getting a foothold there on the northern side of his expansion island, if you want to call it that. Soul's safely capping his side island, as we've seen here. No players yet going for the other corners. Now it's 6 minutes some. If this was a higher rated game, that would already be in the bag. Now Husky, again, it's a higher rated player. Interceptor here from Soul does get itself 2 kills before going down. And looks like now Husky's sending dropship over the Aeon Chariot. Is he going to be using that to... I wonder if he's thinking about capping over here. Well, look at this. It looks like Echo over here getting right greedy. Got a transport ship with multiple orders here. 6 engineers on board. And he is literally dropping the very definition of left, right and centre. Now, the first drop is going to be right next to a group of Auroras, and with them they've got a scout. Looks like all that he's at least immediately interested in is that mass point, but I don't think he's going to live very long. Good night, thanks for coming. Coming to drop a second one, and Aurora was there, and here is another Aurora with scouts, so Husky there. Perfect, and it looks like Echo go, oh no, he's going to go. Oh, and I think he thinks that he didn't get the drop off. Look at this. He's coming back to try it again. He must have thought his orders didn't go out correctly. They did go out correctly, pal. You just weren't keeping your eye on the ball. Oh, and he's going to lose a dropship now. Down he goes. He's going to be forced to land if he don't want to lose them all here. He drops 2 of them. What a disaster. And that shows the difference there at 1200 versus 985. You could say there's about 200, 250 points between these guys. Although a nice pickup from Echo there. Goes for Headshot Heroes factory that was halfway built. And that is going to leave an open goal, I think, here. At least at this point, looks like Echo 153 has got the entire expansion island. He's just got a few masts to pick off, and that is it. But what's this? Headshot Hero strolls onto the scene with his ACU. It's completely naked at this point. He's got a mast point, and he's going for the all-important land factory. This one is half built, but I think that's going to go down to these 3. The Mantis scum. Look at them moving into position there. These cheeky little creepy crawly things. I used to hate going against these bastards when I played. The Mantis. And you get Cyberns build them on all day long. Cyberns build more Mantis than UEF builds Strikers or the Aeon builds Auroras. Certainly more of these get built than Seraphim build the Thams. And yeah, there it goes. Overlays, and this is also on the FAF Cast channel. Every time somebody starts a new tech, I'm going to show that in the chat window now, especially on the larger games. It's impossible to keep hold of, but look at this. Headshot Hero, the lowest rated player in the game, sends subs out and catches a couple of the Navy yards here coming from Sol unawares. And the subs, 3 subs there on the far side, does have torpedo bombers. That is the sub's weak point. Torpedo bombers. And I'm not sure he's got out to deal with it. I just realised there was a 4th, the cheeky one hiding there. I'd like to see these subs working together to primary specific yards, because otherwise I don't think they're going to get it done. And it looks like it's going to be dicey whether he even manages to pick off 1 yard. Headshot Hero, very strong with the air. I like to see this. And it's going to be close now. He's going for his 2nd yard. Is Echo 153 or the E153 going to kick him off? Oh, look at this. Headshot Hero runs. That is not the way to hang on to your island. To run away as soon as the first shot is fired. And it looks like he is coming out to play. Oh, what's he doing? Now, this is not at all looking good for our baby blue friend there. 729. Although on the flip side, Husky has managed to dominate most of his island. And it looks like it's just a formality to kick off the opponent. He's got the perfect mix here. ACU together with some Auroras and a couple of Tech 1 artillery units. That enables him to get rid of the Tech 1 point defense. He's going to knock these 3 factories out, I think, in short order. And at that point, it looks like 1 central island could be going to each player, which is nice. We've got a nice 50-50 split in the rear. The Sol guy, the Ferrari Red there, captaining both the expansion islands. And down here, Headshot Hero does get his immediate expansion. We saw there having 2 mass points. And over on the flip side, Husky capping his island off with 4 mass points. Multiple players now going towards Tech 2 land. And Headshot Hero continuing to make real nice work here with the air. And we see Echo there panicking a bit, sending a huge unit or division of Sky Slammers. The Tech 1 mobile anti-air. And at least for now, it's enough to make and continue to run back. I'd like to see the bombers going after the anti-air if indeed they do want to hang around. Coming over here, looks like Echo 153 was trying to do the same. It does have a large... How many? 3 kills. 1 kill. and 3 kills. So 7 kills on these few torpedo bombers, and they're going after a couple more there at the top. So many torpedoes going off, and that Tech 1 sub there from the UEF doesn't have a chance. But look at this. Headshot Hero has been able to re-establish himself on the side, and with his factory continues to pump out some engineers. Hopefully, with a bit of effort, he'll be able to start and offer some resistance here. Husky there giving him limited amounts of support, picking off isolated units, which is real nice to see. The stronger player lending assistance to his weaker teammate is going to lose those. And what have we here? Well, still just frigates for a moment. I was getting excited thinking Tech 2 destroyers. They do almost look like the Tech 2 destroyers. I was always crap with Aeon units. I mean, crap with units at the best of time, but I'm sure I'd be better with Seraphim units if only they had a pronounceable name. Just Aeon, I just... and a clue. And now, what is effectively a piece of paperwork that needs finishing off. And with that now sorted, we can safely say that the expansion there going very well there for Husky. He's got his entire island. The other island's still in a little bit of flux. Headshot Hero just going after random structures here and there, causing max annoyance to the E153rd Echo player. That name. Jeez, could someone kill this guy just so I don't have to pronounce his name anymore? There'll be somebody somewhere saying, oh, it's in reference to a such and such, and you should know this, and I'm sure that is the case, but you know what, I don't care. One of the advantages when you make your own channel, you can screw up on things, and if people call you out on it, well, you delete the comment, though. I'm jesting. I haven't deleted anybody's comment. You look, see if anybody's comment's gone missing. Nobody's comment. You know, as long as things don't get too nasty, I give as good as I get. Sometimes, you know, certainly on the other channel now, the FAF Cast, I've started coming at Michelle a bit, calling people out when they're making mistakes, and, you know, I don't expect to be able to do that in a vacuum. Sometimes people shoot back. Now look at this. Nice attack run there. Looks like they were able to one-shot a naval yard. Headshot Hero runs away with his engineers just in time to escape the wrath. And Echo continues to harass, picks off another naval yard, going after a third, while his fighter bombers coming in land as a Tech 2 land HQ. That needs to switch up to flak units right now. And the blue team... Team number 2 here in a right spot of bother thanks to Echo's Corsair snipes here. He's still got 5 Corsairs causing bother, going after the Tech 2 land HQ belonging to Headshot. And he's going to lose it. I don't believe it. So many idle engineers here that could be building Tech 1, and he is now doing it. But he's only using 2. Does now lose the HQ. And taking a look out. Husky with an air engage. Now we've got Janus fighter bombers coming down from Seoul. So this feels like it was a plan. Northern team as well, raining torpedo bombers down on Husky's navy. And what looks like almost nothing Husky can do about it. The red team very, very strong on the Tech 2 air. Often you see players skip right over Tech 2. They go Tech 1, you maybe see a single Tech 2 gunship or one fighter bomber somewhere, maybe, and then they go straight for Tech 3. Not today. The red team, and they're making the blue team pay big time by actually exploiting some of the advantages of the Tech 2 fighter bombers. And yeah, that was quite an expensive strike, and I think it could have been even worse had there been a little more micro from Echo 153. He did real nice picking off the naval yards, the Tech 2 land HQ. Very well played. It looks like Husky's got a load of mass points missing on his island. I don't think he's going to worry too much about that. But what is going to be the problem is the complete lack of air and navy that went with it. Torpedo bombers still have in their ways, but I don't think they've got anything left to kill. But we do now have some swift wins. The Tech 2 fighter bombers from Husky, not a moment too soon. Those Tech 2 fighter bombers just about now going to keep the blue team in the game. Headshot Hero, though, managing to creep out and expand slow and methodical like you'd expect from a 700 rated player. But I mean, the fact that he's out at all, he's got a Tech 2 radar system online. He knows what's coming, and with a fair bit of intel. Ask you what these, the Auroras? Yeah, the Auroras. Well, if they manage to get one kill between them, I'd be surprised. Potentially, it's just a diversionary attack. Suicide run. Just to buy him a little bit of time up back. We've got some gunships now as well from Husky, who also transfers units over to Headshot Hero. So I always, and I'll say it a million times, and I'll continue to say it a million, when a stronger player helps out his weaker player ally rather than just letting him die so he can pounce and have the eco for himself, I really, really like that. I've seen too many times strong players let the weaker guy die, knowing that, oh, well, as soon as you die, I'm moving in and nicking all your mass, and then I'll start and play. Husky not doing the same. Hands over to Headshot Hero. Go on then. Pick this guy. Oh, look at this. Headshot Hero with the manual reclaim. The Tech 1 engineer reclaiming the Tech 1 sub that so far has got 4 kills. And if this sliver doesn't move out the way, and there he goes, he gets it. Thanks to the Tiger Shark and the engineer by himself there. Headshot Hero. Fantastic. Headshot Hero lands a couple of interceptors on a place where perhaps they shouldn't be landing. And a Husky with a bunch of Tech 2 and a shield blazes. Not a bad way. Oh, we've also got a couple of destroyers, frigates, subs. It's a nice little flotilla. The blaze going after the frigate. Problem is, once its shield goes down, yeah, frigate's way. But this navy here, I don't think there's much point of Sol pushing this position. Yeah, pick off isolated units, but going up against this, I don't see any benefit to it. Thank goodness for the counter intel, though. That is going to confuddle the Aeon targeting system up to a point. But of course, all that goes out the window if Headshot Hero gets visual with his subs. And looks like Headshot Hero is intending on pursuing. Yeah, you got to stay outside of visual if you want your targeting systems to have any, or your jammers. Because it's not stealth, is it? It's a jammer. Puts out deceptive radar returns. And now it's the South Side's turn to exploit their air force. And what is a reasonably strong flotilla of units here from Echo, desperately lacking a Tech 2 cruiser, and he's going to pay for it. He's got almost nothing to hit back at these torpedo planes. And now looking much more 50-50 split over on the northwestern island, or the, you know, let's just call it the north central and the south central for brevity's sake. But the north central, yeah, real 50-50. And I'm just wondering, Echo, what's his plan? He's got gun, he's got stealth, Tech 1 radar. I'm just wondering, does he intend on using? Yeah, there's some gunships. I feel like you need some interceptors on the island somewhere. He's working on his ion reactor. So let's have a little look at economies now. 22 minutes, 22 seconds. And incomes as follows: 221 for the red team versus 189 for the blue team. And so about, what's that, about 20 or so percent advantage. Yeah, I was going to say 20-25, but I think it is near a 20% advantage per tick for the red team. But if we look on totals, 156 versus 163. So blue team 156, 163. So the advantage not as wide as the income would suggest. Although team 1, the red team, slightly ahead. It's about 5% overall advantage. But I'm not sure that 5% looks like it's translated very well. Take a look then at the kills to build ratio. And a massive Echo there out on 0.41 and Husky on 0.44, Soul on 0.12. And so what that shows is our dark blue player is getting the most bang for his buck with regards to how much have I spent on stuff and how many units of the enemy that are worth mass have I killed. And so Husky with the highest ratio and Soul with the lowest. What that means is he's spent the most amount economically and gotten the least amount of kills in return. And that makes sense because he's lost the Navy fight here. He lost the island here. It's been his teammate that did the work over here. And so Soul, the 979 rated UEF player, at least for now, not doing as well as he could be. Echo's trickling isolated units in, trying to assist his pal, give something for Husky, to think about, but it doesn't look like Husky's falling for it. He's just going to roll on in, and at this point, Soul needs to start thinking of something, and fast. No, he's losing an upgrade to Tech 3. Gets a bunch of Tech 2 engineers spamming out Tech 1 point defense. Yes, best thing that you could do. Then has to wait for a flat point. It's going to lose an awful lot due to that. Oh, and again. Oh, my goodness. So much loss there. I think it'd have been better just trying to line up some Tech 1 point defense. Producing amphibs. Now, is that a Sparky? No, it's another Riptide. Does have a fighter bomber from his pal. An Echo moving a Navy here to assist his teammate. Headshot Hero taking the opportunity to roll over Echo's expansion. I think he might get it here. Engineers desperately trying to get more point defense down. ACU with the gun, whapping and blapping away, overcharging as he can. He's got so many engineers here, he must be stalling on eco because that just does not seem to be going anywhere. Does have a few Mantis in the area. Some real nice overcharges there, and I think Echo is going to hold. And look at this. Somehow Husky, I don't know if he's pushback or just decides to rearrange and retreats, but massive wave of torp bombers coming in, and if he was going after those Tech 1 subs, he's going to one-shot them. Ah, there we go. The torpedoes chasing. Oh, he just about gets away. Echo 153 playing a blinder here, assisting all over the shop, and at least for now Soul remains in the game. Minute 26. Husky with a Tech 2 mobile flak. Well, it doesn't look like it was able to get another kill, but I'm sure it inflicted the damage. And just Husky, just relentless with these torp bombers, just seems to be getting just enough to one-shot Tech 2 Navy belonging to the enemy. And Soul now, yeah, very, very bad factory rally point. The worst factory rally point I've seen. Huge waves of torpedo bombers from the south side. Both players just picking off factories here belonging to Echo 153. Who is just losing more and more. More Riptides coming down from headshot. does have an engineer trying to reclaim some of this, but he needs more factories. More air, to state the obvious, but... yeah, this is sad now. Just undefended. Or let's just call them defenseless naval ships there going down from the red team. Blue now looking very strong. As we approach minute 28, what the economy is doing. On the income side, it's 263 for the blue team versus 245 for the red team. So not at all as wide as a gap as it would appear. Now, Seoul really must use these navies together. And it looks like he's trying a long-range bombardment, but he's got so many frigates and destroyers. He's got to use all of this. He's got to keep them jostling. The Aeons are very, very powerful if the rounds connect. And you see how Husky here is jostling good and proper with his navy. And you have to do. It's a lot of navy coming off here from Seoul. He's got a decent eco, but he's operating off such a small number of mass points. Does he have these teched up at least? Well, they're up to tech 2, capped off, so... oh no, more torp bombers coming in. Although perfect positioned cruiser may be able to pick off quite a few here. Well, that was kind of crucial there. At least 5 torp bombers from the blue team get picked off. And I'm not sure any of them got a torpedo away. Here are 3 more. Both of them get picked. It looks like they did manage to unload a few torpedoes onto the navy yards, but they all went down. That was huge there. Echo 153. Now Seoul presenting a terrible front here on the navy. Presenting the flank over to Husky. But his looks like may be able to get a destroyer. There it goes. Manages to get the shield blinking back on. Kind of crucial. More Navy strikes over here from Headshot Hero, but more cruisers out there from Echo. Picks those off. Looks like they're desperately trying to get the Navy HQ from Echo 153, but with this many engineers on the case and this many cruisers in the area, it's going to be quite costly to do. Echo 153 going up against numerous tanks here. Looks like Headshot Hero maybe distracted, looking elsewhere. Is going to enable Echo to pick off some for free, and looks like, yeah, he does come round, is going to try and get some more. Another bite of the apple, and so far Echo's ACU played absolutely fantastic, and this for sure preventing a complete overrun. Husky with yet another landfall on floating units, this time the Blaze from Aeon. That picks off a capped off Tech 2 belonging to Seoul. He's going for a second one. I'm not sure he's going to get it. No, it does get picked off. And the battle here going quite well for Seoul. I have to say, he was playing really, really well despite lack of navy, and I'm sure that's going to be because he's got a lot of reclaim there. If we zoom out, what's that? 7 fight? Yeah, there's at least 12,000 mass just here. And nobody's going to need that mass more than Seoul. He's producing the most amount of navy for what looks like the least amount of terrain or mass points. And looks like, at least for now, has been able to push Husky back. Reining in long-range cruiser fire. Most of those are going to miss, but every once in a while, like there, you will get some connecting. Oh, and there he goes. Does pick off a frigate from range. Manages to pick off another. In fact, Producer picks off a sub as well. It's actually getting a critical amount of cruisers online, despite the jostling there from Husky, able to pick stuff up at range. And yet more Navy coming through, more shields, land units from Husky. But he's got to play. He can't just stand there. You can't stand there to Aeon Tech 2 destroyers. They're just going to blap away and win. You've got to keep jostling, or at the very least, present a cohesive front, especially with your shield boat. Back over here. Headshot Hero trying again with land forces, and again, Echo with his commander. 80 kills so far. And for the first time pushing out with a navy of his own. And I don't believe this. Just as it was starting to look like the game was winding down for the red team, a glimmer of hope. A Riptide does manage to pick off 2, and well, most of the... Oh yeah, call that 2. There's a tiny bit left, but all the caps went. So I think half of Soul's mass income from the tip island there disappeared. Soul's gonna have to sort that out, but look at this here from Echo. Strong navy indeed. The problem is, I'm not seeing any subs. There's a couple of Tech 1s. He needs... well, he best hope no submarines come and get him. He manages to pick off a radar, forward radar there from Headshot. There's another one here. And Coopers, the torpedo boats from UEF. Very, very effective unit. They don't shoot on top, just rain torpedoes. And the cruisers have got no sort of countermeasure there. And for the first time in what feels like ages, Echo pushing out, going up against a point defense, and with it not walled off, they may be able to get it despite the poor position, and indeed they do. And the Corsair unloads on it for good measure. Headshot Hero up here with a tiny counter-attack, 2 frigates, 3 subs, and I see nothing but frigates and cruisers here from Echo, which means these subs are going to be able to shoot at this all day long. And Soul is pushing out, and this is going to put a huge challenge on to Husky's forward position. He's got a shield, he's got a couple of RT batteries capped off with the energy. He's trying to produce more shields. But with this many cruisers coming in, point defense goes down. Cruiser here from Husky ventures a little far out of position, probably a bad rally point. He's going to be lucky if he gets away. And Soul with a very aggressive forward move. So many NGs on reclaim duty here. That is certainly keeping the Reds in the game. Let's have a look actually on reclaim. Well, look at this. Soul, 37,000. Next one, Husky with 27. Next one, Echo with 20. Dark Red and Headshot Hero with 10,000. And Echo looking very, very strong with this huge number of cruisers. It gets to the point where they become very, very difficult to take out from the air, because every time you send torpedo bombers in, you're going to need a huge range just to get in to pick off one, and it just becomes uneconomical to do so. It's like Husky's trying another ways in. A huge number of destroyers. How many destroyers we got just here from Husky? 9. A couple of cruisers, a few frigates, and 1 little sub. Has Echo got the numbers to deal with? Well, if he comes up together, he may just. Soul continues to push through here, and he did knock out that forward base. knock him back a little further. And there's quite a few mass points here belonging to Husky, although they're not all teched up, but still. And what could be a real nice sandwich here between the two red players could pick off Husky. Be nice to see Sol send these units this way over here with like a shift G. Instead, he's going to move that way. I think they could have picked off a few more had those two players moved a little more together. Nothing wrong with the way Echo moved. I think Sol, by the time he realized it, perhaps a little out of position. And Echo here just continues to kill. 106 with his commander, still hanging on. At this point, if Headshot Hero wanted to, he could put a tactical missile launcher somewhere around here and just pick off these one after the other, or potentially even go for an ACU snipe if that is what he wants. And now it's the red team who have got the torpedo bombers going after these problematic navies here, especially the subs that Echo's had such problems with. And now look at this team play. Sol and Echo just playing wonders, and Husky at this point has got to be feeling a little concerned. He's running out of numbers. He had such a strong number of destroyers here. He's having to run. Now Headshot Hero with a perfect counter to a lot of cruisers. Send in subs, Tech 1 subs. Problem is, his ally Sol does have a lot of destroyers. If he can stay out of range of the destroyers and just go after the cruisers, it will be able to cause them some bother. Well, it looks like he switches over to the destroyers at the last minute. He could have got at least one. And then Echo moves in with the torp bombers, wraps them up. And I think what was starting real nice for Husky, things starting to turn a little bit. He's got a number of Tech 2 fighter bombers, and they're all Swift Winds, the Tech 2 fighter bombers, 26. Headshot Hero goes in with some Tech 2 gunships, trying to go after Destroyer, but, you know, that's what happens when you run gunships up against cruisers. Husky now going for a Tech 3 Navy headquarters. He's just started it. I don't think a moment too soon. He needs something here to turn this around. But the red side now running out of destroyers, and if they're not careful, Headshot Hero with his 4 little mini subs here is going to have its way with all of these cruisers who are now up again. And I don't believe what's just happened. This was so comfortably in the red team's favor. Husky pulled a rabbit out of a hat somehow and is now going to have his way with numerous cruisers who were undefended. Got 6 cruisers here. 1 goes down. Down goes the second. And could this be a third? And indeed it is. 3 of the 6 cruisers going down undefended there. Slight oversight from Sol. Sol now moving more naval reinforcements in, and Echo looking increasingly strong over here with his, and is starting to pick Headshot Hero's expansions apart on the northwestern central island. And Echo now with its first real counter-attack through the mountains down here. All the traffic has been one way for the last half hour. Although Headshot Hero with the Tech 2 still producing Riptides. And at least for now, Echo 153 just producing Tech 1. Still just, let's have a little look. Got any ASF yet? We do. Got 11 ASF from Husky. And nice, real nice naval comp here. I love this. Just look at this, what we got just here. 4 subs, 10 frigates, 4 cruisers, 2 destroyers, a shield boat and a torpedo boat. That is like UEF Navy. Perfect. Just nice mixing. None of this, oh, I know you know to, oh, and a huge drop run there from Husky. Loses at least 2 out of the 3. He's got 3 harbs left. That is a lot that just, oh! And he almost lost the last lot. Well, assuming he did have 3 drop ships, and 2 of them got shot down, assuming there was not a 4th one, that will have been 9 harbs, reduced to 3. And it looks like they're not going to have the greatest effect ever. This guy's so close. Okay, they take... it's going to be close. One of them goes down. The second goes down. And the third one looks like he's shooting at these engineers, but he's actually shooting into this shield. Engineers managed to get a Ravager down. We've still got the Tech 1 point defense. And the Harb, with, as far as I can tell, had 0 kills. That was very unfortunate from Husky. It was a lovely move, but threading dropships in between massive flotillas of enemy cruisers is never going to go well. But now we have the Tech 3 battleship from Husky. Could this be the break the blue team needs? Feels like they've been on the back foot for the last 10 minutes after initially being very strong. We also have masses of Tech 2 Aeon shielded up land units just sent into the middle of all this UEF. The perfect unit to send up against things like cruisers and even frigates they do very well against. Torpedo boats for sure. And yeah, I think that's teared quite a hole into the UF, especially now that the UF has split up a bit. And this battleship having its way as well. 5 kills so far. And Sol at this point, well, he's running out of units on the line. Yeah, cruiser's going down. Looks like this destroyer's going to be next. There it goes. Frigates from his ally. And now cruisers undefended moving in from his ally. This is going to be a disaster for the red team. And it looks like Husky knows it, no doubt about it. He's not waiting for these guys to even get one ship. He's just balls to the wall moving in. And for the first real comprehensive victory there from Husky for some time. So some minor reclaim going on here from Sol, and I don't think he's going to get any more of that. And look at that there. Well over 30,000 reclaim right there. We've got 18, 7, 4.5 and hundreds all around. And as far as I can tell, all of that is going to fall into the blue team's hands. Go looking very strong up here, but it just feels like he's taking too long to chew through too few units. He's not being aggressive enough, it feels like. It's like Headshot Hero is able to send in a small number of units that, yes, lose every time, but it's completely tying up a massively superior force for extended periods of time. And it feels like Sol is left to face off against a very strong player. Don't forget these two red players are even. Sol, the Ferrari red guy, is facing off against stronger. Now, he does have a little attack over here, but it's up against broadswords. It does look like he was able... Go on. Yeah, go for that. I'm quite surprised just how many units here does pick off. Oh, that was quite a nice pickup then. It looks like he's going to get the Tech 3 Navy HQ and all. And Husky, apologies for missing. Did he just quit? Did Husky just quit? I think Husky just quit. Apologies if it was a snipe, but I can't see it being a snipe. I think he just realised he lost his eco, he lost his air grid. And that is a shame because he's really strong here with an AVIC. To me, this game were over. This game is not over. Yes, you're on the back foot with regards to air, but you've made huge progress with this Navy. Yes, Echo's looking strong over here, but help you weak your ally out. Rebalance the front. Now Headshot Hero has got his work cut out for him. The weakest player left to face off 2 players on the stronger team. And Echo don't look like he's going to give him much room to breathe. Continues to push through. Well, this is only ever going one way in this area. Now, if he can bring this Navy back and use it defensively, maybe he's got a chance. They go 153 with 23 ASF. And look at this. He does eventually finish off the Navy. There's 1 Tech 1 sub left. That's going to go down momentarily. And so 10 points for Headshot Hero for not immediately throwing in the towel. He does have broadswords here. He's got subs, but the priority, if you're going to send stuff, has got to be for these mobile SAM sites. Forget the frigates. The SAM sites is your problem. Or the cruisers. This is a nice counter, though. The Riptides. I used to like building Riptides, whether it was a map, a water map or not. I just like the unit. And Echo looking to shut down Headshot Hero's main base. Shields are collapsing, and he's got 3 ion reactors that are at risk here. Torpedo boats. Few subs, and I don't believe it. Headshot Hero has almost disintegrated this Navy. There's 4 cruisers left, now 3. And perhaps a minor mistake from the Echo not trying to primary one of these ion reactors. And I think Headshot Hero did really well there. That Navy, when it was here, what, 2 minutes ago, looked unstoppable, and yet look at this. It's all but stopped, and now they've run into a battleship waiting for them on the other side. It's all over there. Wow. Headshot Hero now up on the front line is going to lose a battleship here, what looks like. Does have 2 ranks of vet. And there it goes. But he's still got a number of destroyers here, providing they don't all overkill individual frigates. I don't push through. Maybe. A bit more overkill. Takes out the cruiser. And another little victory there for Headshot Hero. Wow. What we got here? Versus up against a Mantis. What are these guys doing? Some sort of medical condition. That Mantis would eventually win if it weren't for this guy. Which is ironic. And I feel a bit for Headshot Hero. I mean, he's a lower rated player and he's really got his work cut out for him. APM's going to be a problem, and doing stuff like this is going to be a problem. But it feels like, despite his ally, and again, I'm not sure if he quit or he was sniped. I would want... I didn't see it. I'm just guessing, but Husky, forgive me if I'm wrong. I think he quit when he saw his base go up and he had nothing in the immediate vicinity to hit back. But he's got so much eco left. Headshot Hero now going for a donut. He just needs to maintain air superiority. You can't have idle Tech 3 air factories like this. You've got to be producing ASF, and if you can't fund it, then you should be building an ion reactor right now and then going on to the ASF. Idle Tech 3 air at 51 minutes into a game. There's no excuse. Look at this. Ego just ballsy going after these purses. 146 kills, 5-star ACU. Still got the stealth. Still got the gun. And that's it, it would seem. What we've got here. 24 torpedo bombers is what we've got. Belonging to Echo. And does he have a target? No. He's just moving in. Okay, so big mistake. What you want to do is at least lead this with one scout or anything. One piece of air. So that these already have a target by the time they get here. They can't come here, stand still, and then think, all right, boys, what we're going to go for? And, well, you know, they're eating up Samfire here from this cruiser. He's already got 4 of them. There was a battleship. They are now going for the cruiser, but look, the cruiser's got 6 and 7 kills. So, yeah, the cruiser died, but it got 7 of these torpedo bombers before it did. I think if you'd have led that with a scout, that cruiser would have been lucky to have gotten 2 of those torpedo bombers. And now, Headshot Hero, at risk of losing the battleship, he needs Sam, or he needs... Well, yeah, best thing here really is Sam. Flak's okay, but... Oh, he's going to lose his Navy HQ. Does have a few ASF, but they're going to get in there just in time to be too late. Still, I really, really like what I'm seeing from Headshot Hero here. Does now lose the Tech 3 Navy Yard. Does finish off the Torp Bombers. 3, 2, 1. And there it is. Last one going over. Scouts now. And Echo looking increasingly strong over here, but I don't believe this Headshot Hero moving in with some Tech 1 subs up against a lot of frigates and cruisers. Now, most of those he's going to have his way with. Just depends where's the next destroyer coming in, or the torpedo boat, the Cougars from Seoul. But if he stands here, he's going to get pretty good trades with this. It's also got a couple of Tech 2 sub hunters as well. Now there is a destroyer here from Seoul. Look at this, yet more battleships. Although whalers. Don't send the battleship in too close. They'll run rings around it. Oh, look at this. The donut. Does the North team know? Well, no. But they're about to find out. I'm sure we're about to see a lot of pings go down from the red team. There goes the pings. It's Sol. He's the first one to raise the alarm. And at this point, back to the Obo. There's a lot of interceptors here. Correction. Yeah, interceptors. Oh, the donut is losing health and fast. Moving it over the enemy base. What's he going for? Donut gets shot down. And I think that Seoul will be very happy with how that went. He didn't even lose his nuke defense. He didn't lose his air HQ. He didn't lose his ion reactors. A Headshot Hero. Now starting to look a little bit outmatched. And again, he's going to be. The lower player with half as many players, and Sol now looks like he's going from strength to strength. What a seesaw of the game this has been. What feels like we're on the comeback of the comeback here. And Headshot Hero's littered his main island with SAM sites. But I don't think that is necessarily going to be the biggest threat. Got so many of these Tiger Sharks. Oh, sorry, the Barracudas. Correction, the Tech 2 Cybern sub with their stealth just having its way with Headshot Hero's naval production, who's all but been kicked out. He's got a few units he's trickling up through the middle, but it's unfortunate he's going to lose those. It's got a Tech 2 torpedo launcher here, but that's going to go down. And the north side now just all at reclaim to themselves. Look at that, 25,000. We've got another 6, another 5, another 4.5. You're talking 50,000 mass now. And Sol just spamming more naval yards here. He's continuing to push. And at this point for Headshot Hero, it's got to feel like, you know, what you're doing here is just rearranging deck chairs. Where you look, on the right flank, you've got now left. On the left flank, absolutely nothing's going right. This is problematic for Headshot Hero. Back in rear wit gear. What a finale this one for the channel. What are you thinking of doing? Well, more power, okay, but what's the plan? He's reclaiming some wrecks. What's his eco situation like? Well, don't reclaim while you're spilling. Oh, this is a disaster. He's reclaiming mass when he's spilling big time. What are you spending on? I'm going to speed up just a little bit, because the enemy is getting closer. I don't think the red team's going to be too forgiving when they get down here. They're right methodical, picking apart what's left belonging to Headshot Hero. And it feels a bit sad, because if Husky did indeed quit, I feel if he hadn't have quit, this wouldn't be looking as precarious. Headshot Hero has held on really well for a 700 rated player. Now granted, it is the 2 versus 2 ladder, so the results not necessarily entirely indicative of global rating, but they're as good as we've got, and by far the weakest player I don't think has played like the weakest player. Sure, he needed a bit of help over here, but once he got it, I mean, he had it. I don't think he's played any worse than the Echo guy, who, by the way, has played really well. Sol's played really well. I mean, Husky played really well up until, and again, apologies, Husky, if I've got it wrong. To me, despite not seeing it, felt like you quit as soon as you lost your home base. But now Echo moving in, Sol moving in, it all comes down to this. We're on 2 times speed here. What limited ships Headshot Hero had left just got chucked. What could they do anyway? At this point, perhaps the best thing he could have is either a fatty, of course, the Tech 2 artillery, but it's all too late now. Building ion reactors on the front line when you've got this approaching, also not necessarily the best move I've ever seen. Slow time down now, get the life bars back on. Do have a battle cruiser from Headshot Hero, so minor silver lining, and he is using it appropriately, i.e. not just throwing it in. But Sol with the perfect counter, sending in subs to chase after. And just look at the navy here from the red team flowing up. Headshot Hero there. He's got one shield that separates him from just masses of navy. He does have a few subs over here, but to me, don't feel like it. The shield collapses and it's back to the commander, and that is it.
Commander under attack.
Commander's starting to eat fire. And we'll do some cinematics for what I assume is going to be the end. Looks like everyone's just concerned about ripping apart this base. And Headshot Hero and his shields are only going to hold for so long. Looks like he's rushing a strategic missile defense. I don't think that's the priority either. These ion reactors, oh, look at that. He starts immediately rebuilding one. That must be some sort of mod. I'm sure a 700 rated wasn't trying to get that shit done. Oh, that was bad. Chain reaction wipes out the Tech 3s. Quantum gateways going. And he still has, I was going to say 7 ion reactors. Then there was 6. He's running somewhere. And it's surprising me it's taken the Navy even this long to deal with what's left. And Headshot Hero Have you got anything? Well, oh, is he going to get... Oh, primary. Oh, he can't see. This commander is stealth and cloaked. Echo. Cheeky mofo. If only Headshot had Tech 3 spies. I don't think he does. Echo 153 up against 4 Percys who can't see what they've got to deal with. Stealth and cloak. Cybrant cheeking it. He's now trying to repair a Tech 3 mass fab. Headshot hero about to go down on the last cast on the Games with Brains channel. Again, if you like what you see, you want to continue seeing casts from me on Forged Alliance Forever, make sure to subscribe to the FAF Cast channel. And Headshot hero, none needs to do that more than you. UEF ACU, and it's always sad to see the UEF guy lose. Although Soul is UEF on the flip side. I mean, all the lights on his ACU are out. Look at this. This is a defeated guy. Got no more soul energy left. It's all just grey and dark and dim. And, you know, you're looking into his eyes and there's just nothing there. This is somebody who's been worn out and who knows that it's over. Just facing an awful lot, and you know, credit to him, he's not just throwing in the towel. Thousands would. An Echo 153 with a battleship going after. Headshot hero eating some to the chassis. Just 4,900 hit points remain. 7 shots or so separate him from nuclear annihilation. 2,300. He's trying to get Ravengers online. 2,400. 600 hit points. Boom. And that not just signifies the end of the game here. Very well played. But also the last Forged Alliance Forever cast on the channel. I've enjoyed it very much. I hope you enjoy it. So do make sure you come over. We'll continue to do it there. Victory there. Very well earned. Going towards the red team, who were the 2 900 and some rated players. You know, they weren't far off 1,000. And Husky booking the trend where the higher player on the average team usually then ends up winning, does not. And again, if he quit or not, perhaps somebody could let us know in the comments. And until next time, over on the FAFcast channel, I hope to see you there where there's nothing but Forged Alliance stuff. But from here, from me, and now, until then, take care. Bye-bye.